What is going on, Colts Nation? He's Jamal Lawrence, and I'm Eric Smith, your co-host of the Colts Cast,
Yo.
coming at you with a part 2 of the Q&A session. We sent out we asked for some questions via social media. So whether you're on X, YouTube, Instagram, you all, ladies and gentlemen, control this episode. Control part 1. You send us the questions. We're here to answer. We got a long off season ahead of us, so we got some more questions today, right,
Oh,
Jamal?
yeah, absolutely. We're going to get some more in there. Before we do, though, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button for us. Drop your comments below. Let us know what you thought about part 1. And definitely let us know what you feel about part 2. Maybe you had a question that wasn't answered. You got a new one for us. Drop it down below because we want to keep doing this. But we will still throw some, random answers into questions as they come in throughout other pods. So drop them.
Let's get right into it. Marcus asked, what's your expectations on Juju Brents this upcoming season?
Mm.
Jamal, I started off, I think, in part 1. You want to take this one?
Yeah, that's fine, man. I think first and foremost, my expectation for him to be healthy. That just goes without saying. Juju has to be healthy. You can't get better without getting those physical reps on the field, and of course that was our biggest
So you
issue. I
think
feel
he
like we
will
ran
be
into.
healthy? That's
I
your
I
expectation?
I said I expect him to be healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he better be healthy. Yeah, I mean he doesn't have a choice. He doesn't have a choice. But that was our biggest issue last year. Obviously, AFC South didn't get any worse this past offseason. If anything, it got better on the offensive side of the ball. So we're gonna need Juju to be flying on all cylinders. You have to be rehabbing, properly. You have to be training properly. I expect him to come out because when he was on the field, now did he put up stellar numbers during his entire rookie campaign? No, but he put up some solid numbers that had a lot of upside to it, especially for a rookie. Yeah, and he can build off of that going into year 2. So I really expect him to try to elevate this thing. And I really want him to be, and I don't know if he will go to this, but I wouldn't mind seeing him come like more of a lockdown line of scrimmage type of a cornerback because I know some of his issues that he had in the past was like separation. Once someone separates from him, once they catch the ball, it's hard for him to make up that space. So I don't know, maybe give an extra jab or something at the line. I haven't done that much film on him personally, but I really think if he can, lock down a little earlier and then, of course, obviously be healthy, the biggest thing, I think he can have a lot of upside this year for us.
I like that. I like that. Yeah, big Juju Brents. My expectations for the second year corner, I agree with you, Jamal. He needs to stay healthy. It, I really hope he does. It sounds like a recurrent theme in Colts Nation that injuries are piling up. They're our downfall. But Brent's missed half the season last year. I mean, that's a lot of games. Not ideal for a starting corner within a thin secondary. But Juju, I mean, like you said, he showed some upside. He had to cover some really good receivers last year. Calvin Ridley, DeAndre Hopkins, people like that as a rookie. He's been battle tested. That's good. I also like that. When you watch him play, he likes to keep everything in front of him. I don't remember a lot of times where Jamal and I were sitting there talking about, dang, Juju Brents got burnt. Like, I don't remember that. So he doesn't give up the big plays. That's really good. That's what Ballard's been talking about and this coaching staff, that we have to reduce the opponent's explosiveness. Brents has all the traits to be a cornerback one. He's very long, big wingspan, great size, good tackler. I like Juju Brents, and there's a reason why he was ranked so highly as a corner, as a prospect. So I'm hoping he just develops and gets even better in his second year. So, yep, needs to stay healthy. Perfect zone corner for Gus Bradley. I'm expecting him to take a leap this year, barring injuries.
Absolutely.
Man. All right, our next one. Trayshawn White said, bring back, I don't know if this was a question or not, but just said, bring back the Maniac on a reduced deal.
Oh man! All right, so I just let me start for this one real quick. So the first thing I want to talk about with this, man, I and like you said, I appreciate people whenever they want to, go back in time to what these people used to be, these players like Shaq and all those things. But nostalgia is a very dangerous drug. It's a very, very dangerous drug. And I say that because we saw what happened with Shaq throughout his last time in the Colts before getting waved off the team. I just have to tell you that it's going to be a no for me on bringing him back because I can't live in this realm of even if he's taking minimum money, it's just one of those things where you have to move on. In life, things happen. At some point, we have to accept it and we have to move on. We can appreciate the good things that happen. We can definitely, don't harp on the bad things. But he shaped his linebacker group and showed us how it can be done at the highest level. And I respect everything he did as far as it goes from that. But the NFL is a business at the end of the day. We saw decisions had to be made. Front office and company decided that at this point it's better to move on without him on the field. And I take that they thought about that long and hard before they decided to make that move. So in my personal opinion, I don't think we bring him back at all.
Woo. Dang. Kept it cold right there, Jamal, huh?
Yeah, I had to.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it a buck. Shaquille Leonard, the Shaquille Leonard you once knew as Darius Leonard, he is no longer with us anymore. That ship has sailed. The Indianapolis Colts, they made the right move to waive him. I mean, he used to be an impact player, but injuries and surgeries, they tore that man up. I mean, we're talking about like what, 2 or 3 surgeries. It was crazy, and he hasn't regained that old form. Everything just looked slower when you watched him. I remember that game in Germany.
Missing tackles.
Boy, he let Ramondre Steven. Hey, look, we're not even gonna talk about that. He just didn't seem to fit well in Bradley's scheme either. I mean, ever since Gus Bradley came in as defensive coordinator, it's just been everything ain't been right since that day. And I won't forget Shaquille Leonard as a Colt, like you said, Jamal. He's a Colts legend.
Oh, absolutely.
No doubt about it. I mean, this guy invented the peanut punch, it seemed like. But no, we don't need to bring him back on a reduced deal or any deal of that matter. I mean, you could try to make a gamble on him and say, hey, he's going to return to that, being a top linebacker. But why would we even try when he was already upset with the Colts reducing his play time? He's moved on. The Colts have moved on. Let's move on as Colts Nation.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So we got some anonymous questions as well through the email. So number 1, if you guys could choose, who do you think will have a breakout season, offense and defense?
Who do you think? Go ahead. Tell me
who I think.
Yeah.
I think the easy pick on offense is Anthony Richardson. But I'll go with someone else. Oh, okay. Oh, you know who I'm about to pick, Jamal?
Who you gonna say?
Oh, you about to hate this pick. Y'all might hate this pick. Alec Pierce.
I knew you gonna say Pierce.
Alec Pierce. Let me
hey, educate us real quick.
Yeah. All right, case study. He gets a lot of unnecessary hate. Having Anthony Richardson back there should catapult his stock. I mean, we talked about this last season. It just we didn't have Richardson back there, but Gardner Minshew couldn't consistently push the ball downfield. Matt Ryan couldn't consistently push the ball downfield. He's been playing handicap, man. He really has. He's a different type of receiver than our other guys like Downs and Pittman. Plays a different role. Everyone forgets this. Last season, he led the Colts wide receivers in snap share. Like, that man is on the field. Our coaching staff trusts him. Almost 95% of the offensive snaps. Like, he's out there. He doesn't get hurt. He's a great blocker. Not saying our other receivers aren't, because Michael Pittman's a dog in the blocking game too. So, my man is a deep threat. Adonai Mitchell will surely cut into his snaps as competition. Training camp, will be intense. That they both practically play the same type of role in this offense. So, because Josh Downs is our slot guy, Michael Pittman is wide receiver 1. He's going to be in there. But still, Pierce doesn't need a high volume to be effective. His average depth of target and yards per reception tells a nice story. Like, he's that deep ball guy. He's gonna get you those chunk plays, those explosive plays that we need. Feed him the deep ball. I know he's not like a separation god. That he doesn't have to be. That's the whole thing. My man can go up and win those 50-50 balls. We've talked about that. So give me Anthony Richardson plus Shane Steichen plus Alec Pierce. I think that's going to equal explosive plays for us. That's my breakout player on offense. You want me to do defense or no? keep it on offense. Who you
All
got
right,
there?
yeah. So I'm gonna have to counter you on that one. I appreciate you, giving your love for Pierce. You've been doing it since day one. You are day one with him, and I respect that. I rock with that. I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna tell you right now. AD's taking a spot. AD's taking a spot. He'll have the number 2 spot by week 1. Unfortunately for Pierce, that's just the end of that conversation. He's gonna bring a skill set that can be utilized by any quarterback that's on the field. Of course, I don't want to see Joe Flacco on the field, but in the event that Flacco was on the field, guess who's gonna still be able to benefit from that? AD. Guess who's gonna be able to benefit from AR being on the field? AD. So unfortunately for Pierce, I think that he has a lot on his plate right now, and I know you mentioned that's his snaps count and how he was, the highest on there or second highest on the team, I believe you said. It's because we don't have anybody else who can hop in
No,
there and
he was
play
the
his spot.
highest of any
He was
wide
the highest.
receiver.
Okay, yeah, because I guess MPJ was out for some games and
Here
injuries
we
and stuff
go.
like that. Yeah, no. So, but my point is this. My point is this. There was nobody else, who could take his spot at that point. So he didn't have a choice but to be on the field.
Okay.
So it was it was kind of a handout for him. But I will say, like I said, I think that the hype around Richardson is definitely there. But I like AD, and I think he's going to bring a new element to what this squad can do. And just for extra, kicks and giggles, I think he will be number 2 in yards for us because we know that MPJ is going to get all the love. He's going to be number 1, but he will be number 1 in touchdowns this year for us at the wide receiver spot. AD Mitchell will be number 1. So I think that's what I'm going to take for offense for me.
I guess they can technically both break out. I mean,
yeah, heck yeah. I mean, I would love it. I want both to break
yeah,
out. Shoot,
yeah.
I'll take that.
Yeah, I mean, we did an episode on Adonai Mitchell,
Yeah.
and so I'm not hating on that. Defense, I'm taking Nick Cross. I think this is his year, ladies and gentlemen. Third year's the charm, right? Keep it short and sweet. I predict Nick Cross wins the free safety starting role, and he becomes that explosive athletic safety we need in the secondary. I mean, that's why we drafted him. Those traits, man. I mean, he is the definition of explosive. I mean, I thought he'd fit more of a strong safety role, but Bradley seems to think free safety is his position. I want to see it, baby. I want to see it.
Say less. Say less. All right, so I'm gonna go with the kid that did EJ Speed himself. It's gonna be EJ year right here to break out. It's gonna be his first year as a full, as first full year starting for him. And I'm excited for. I mean, we're talking about a guy who had a career year for himself last year, getting all the playing time he did, 78 solo tackles, 1 sack, 3 forced fumbles, 4 pass deflections, 14 and a half stuff yards. For those of you who don't know what stuff yards are, that's where you're getting hit at or behind the line of scrimmage. So my man is at the ball or on the line trying to make a play. He mentioned, his lateral quickness this offseason has gotten a whole lot better. Coverage. He's going to drop down coverage for us. That's what we need. We know we need coverage in that linebacker spot. And of course, not to mention the biggest elephant in the room, CJ Stroud's been chirping off all offseason about how the Colts didn't make any plays on him. And EJ made a play on him last year, but everybody forgets about it. So I know he's gonna come out there. He said when the pads get clacking, it's gonna be on. So
that's crazy. CJ Stroud, he ain't seen those pictures where he's been gobbled up by us.
Real.
That's crazy. Hey,
So
we'll
EJ
see him.
Speed
We'll
for
see
me.
him week 1.
Week 1, we gonna make it happen.
Bitch, hey. Fucking Stroud, CJ Stroud, man. All right, last question. Anonymous number 2. All right, how do you feel about Will Mallory? Do you think he could develop into the tight end 1 for the Colts? I thought flashes we saw of him last season looked promising. Jamal, I like Will Mallory. We did see some flashes of greatness. I mean, he really came together in a few games. He was really able to find those holes in the zone, make some great catches, especially in the middle of the field. He had some productive games with us, despite not playing a lot of snaps. But he is in one.
Tear him down.
No. I'm not going to tear him down. I'm going to give him the circumstances, the environment he's in.
Absolutely.
He's in one of the most competitive position groups on the team. Johnny Woods is back from injury. Missed the entire last season. Kylan Granson was a clear-cut tight end 1 in the receiving department last season. You got Mole Alley Cox, who still has a role on this team as a blocker and a capable pass catcher at times. Drew Ogletree's future is still up in the air. I mean, there's a lot of tight ends that just is. So a tight end 1, we're gonna find out this season who's the real tight end 1. I think as a pass catcher, Mallory, he is definitely on track. As a rookie, looked good in that department. Steichen liked to use him. Trusted him as well. But look, the Colts going to be a run-first team. in my head, I've already talked about this. If you can't block as a tight end, you're always going to be deeper on that depth chart. Just how it is. If he starts progressing in that department, leapfrog someone like Mo Alley Cox, I could seriously see him leading the snap share for the tight end group. But things have to happen. What you think, Jamal?
I mean, I essentially said the same thing right there. Colts currently have 7 tight ends on the roster. Of course, some of those guys are going to be practice squad, and they're going to be some fat trim somewhere. Don't know who, but I mean, it's just too many. Granson and Mallory, I feel like they have a pretty similar skill set as far as it goes. When you talk about that catching game, they can both catch, but both what they cannot do is block well, as you just mentioned. And I think that's the key factor. Ogletree can catch the ball. He's decently fast, huge, and can block. I mean, in my opinion, he's right behind Mo Alley Cox as far as it goes, on that, because he's been out for a season. But I personally think that if Mallory could develop into, like you mentioned, a world-class blocker, then of course he could definitely see himself
Who's
tick
out
up
for a
that
season?
ladder. No, I said he was out for the season. Ogletree last year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was out. Yeah. Sorry if I misspoke, but yeah, he was out last year. So of course, we saw some flashes of him, I guess for the first couple weeks. But then everything else from there, he had all his off-field stuff going on and some injuries as well. So he was out. But I really think that Ogletree, when it comes to it, he could elevate
I
to
thought
that.
Woods was out last season.
Woods was out last season, and Ogletree. Remember, Ogletree had that domestic violence off-field stuff, and then he had an injury as well.
Okay, but he
Yeah.
played some games.
He played some games. Yeah, he played.
Okay,
He played.
like
He
half
caught a
the
call from
season.
Richardson, catch from Richardson. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why.
Okay. I was
Yeah.
confused right there.
No, it's all good. But yeah, so I think that Mallory would have to learn how to block and be an efficient blocker for him to be up there. But I do think right now with that crowded room, like we talked about, Jelani has to earn his stripes back there. But I do presume that he's going to get more opportunities than not. But I wouldn't be surprised to see Ogletree, if he stays in the squad, can get something there, because he can block, he can catch, he can run. So.
Yeah, I like it, man.
Yeah, we'll see.
Well, we shall see. Hey, that's all the questions we got in the mailbag so far. We really appreciate the questions. Everyone who listens to the Colts cast, that's awesome. It's the most questions we've ever done for this Q&A session. That's going to be it for us, everyone. Thank you for listening to the Colts cast. We're live on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, any platform you use to listen to podcasts. We'll be back next time and give you some more Indianapolis Colts content.
Take care.